Good morning, good afternoon almost.
Good morning. Yeah.
For us, it's morning for sure. We work later. I was thinking about that. There's many people that wake up very early.
I woke up early.
6 a.m. early.
No, like 7:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, good morning. We're excited to share with you guys the Council of Light. They've been coming through really strong. Always. They're always with us, really. But this month it's really kind of important for us to kind of gather together and in some ways energetically link arms as we kind of help each other kind of move into this new earth or new energy or new reality or new identity, whatever language you want to use. But these moments that we dedicated to do on the morning before Messages with the Universe is just pure channeled information. And what that means to us is that, we connect with our entourage and the energies and entities that are helping us kind of create this vehicle of what the Indigo Doors is, and sharing this this transmission of love, truly. And we translate that in so many beautiful different ways. But the intention today in these moments is just to kind of transmit the energy in a very pure, high frequency way. So to really allow yourself to receive what is about to happen. If you can just make sure you're comfortable, right? You're
letting go of any tension, any stress, right? Being mindful, like let's be disciplined and let's just show up for ourselves for just a couple of moments. Take those deep breaths, right? Slowing down that exhale to balance that nervous system. Those are really important things. Maybe have that glass of water with you whenever we do this kind of work or tune into this kind of frequency. It's really important that we energize and refuel with that water. Pulling in the earth, this little plug-in, little seed I'm planting in there.
Because energetically what happens is as we connect, and we're already doing it for those of you that are sensitive, they enter into your space as well. So we are energetically connected. And it's like a grid. It's like time and space doesn't exist in the way that our brains think. So allowing for that to happen.
Do you have to get that?
Yeah, you check.
Okay. So I'd like to just jump right in because I feel like, fascinatingly, I'm being guided to remind all of you of the wisdom of our being, of our body, and how the divinity of this vessel and your vessel, our vessels, is perfection. And for whatever reason that I'm not going to doubt, I'm going to invite you to remember, maybe you can hold your stomach for a moment here. Because within your solar plexus, within your stomach, are actual brain cells. And please do not quote me on the research of this, but I know that I've read it and it is important. And it is this knowing within your being of like when things feel in alignment, when they feel good, when they feel loving, and when they don't. And those are really important knowings as we move forward, because that's the tumultuousness of this next era that we're going to be in for a minute. It's not going to be a really long time, and it's still going to be some minutes. And of course, what I mean by minutes is moments, and it depends on our journey for each and every one of us how long that is. Time does not work the way that we think it does in our brains. So just kind of connecting with your stomach and reminding your stomach, your solar plexus, the center of your being, that all is well today. All is well now and forevermore. And just feeling into this, thinking into this yes, and allowing your vessel, your body, to represent that. So you can maybe even feel some more of that tension. So as we go into this knowing of your power, your wonder, I invite you to feel into our guides and angels, because one of the most powerful things that I felt for this month was this honoring and this reverence of each and every one of us. I want you to feel this because we can't just talk about it. They are in awe of how we have been showing up. They are aware that this is weird ass shit. Those are my words.
She made it a minute and a half, folks. It's PG-13.
And it's scary. And we really do not know where we're going in the way that we always have. And that's okay. All of this is okay. Again, I invite you to just breathe into this and feel this love, this divinity, this reverence for you showing up every day and choosing love, choosing authenticity, even if that authenticity is that you want to swear. That's real, that matters. Being angry, whatever is authentic for you. There's going to be more of that, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But for these moments, I invite you to have gratitude for yourself, for what you're doing. Yes, for how you're doing it. It is perfect. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not missing anything. There we go. That's better. Nice job. This is part of how, what Wendy said, we join elbows. Because we must know who we are first. We must honor ourselves, and then we can honor each other. We are doing an amazing job. It doesn't mean that we're perfect. We don't have to be. We never had to be. There we go. Nice.
Nice. It's good to be in this energy, huh?
So on this note, oh no, I feel like we need to open that door. I'm not gonna open that door.
Well, where they're telling me to go right now is to talk about the heart space. You know, for those of you that have been following us for years, you know, we began this conversation years ago around, you know, there's the fifth dimensional expansion, there's this new earth energy, and there's this, you know, there's an awakening of the heart. It is your heart. And so in some ways it's like they're showing me like everyone's beginning to expand out, and that's partly why your emotions are so important. That's partly why your heart is so important, because it's like your heart is the portal into this new space, into this new reality, into this new identity, whatever language you need to use. But it is your heart space that becomes like you are the living portal. You are the living transmission of divine light, right? And it comes from the space, and not to be like cheesy, it comes from your heart. It literally is like from a sacred geometry standpoint, this is like the center, the space of, I mean, they're all connected, but this is the doorway. And so we talk a lot about the human experience of how do you integrate divinity into your heart space, right? And it is a mastery of the self in your lower three, which is your human experience, your shadow, your imperfection, right? How your relationship with your humanness is your lower three. And then your relationship with your divinity, your ability to connect and trust the space, meaning trust your own voice, trust what your own sight, trust your own knowing, right? How do you translate that, and with your relationship with your shadow, to open this up into this beautiful beacon of light, into this beautiful authentic expression? And it is unique to everybody, meaning if you could really see your light in your heart space, it would have a song, it would have color, and that's unique for everyone. It's not about a compliancy where everyone is supposed to behave the same way and look the same way. Yeah. So I'm going off on a tangent.
And that's really important. And I feel like part of what you're moving into, and what I would like to add to all of that, is like, it's this knowing of your past and your future. So it is about time. Time does have a space here. And it is this piece of like accepting who you are, all that you are, all that you have been and will be, right? I don't even want to name it. I'm just going to put a period on that for now.
Right, but it is in that power of now. So it's like the more present you can become and stop the monkey mind and the worrying, because that actually what keeps you off of this present, your heart space, but also the present moment of now. Because it's in that moment, that's what Brenda's talking about, is like your future and your past and your present all exist in one space. You know, we talk, and they're really, as we move forward, cultivating that sacred practice on a moment to moment basis, if you can. How do you feel? What's coming up? You know, right? And then you're taking responsibility maybe for past things that are still coming up, like past emotions that haven't had the freedom to be expressed or the safety to be expressed. And that's beautiful. Then show up for that. And as you filter through and you're processing that, then you get to a space of stillness. You will eventually get to a place of stillness where you can then cultivate a powerful future. And you powerfully choose and say, hey, I am choosing nothing but love and peace. I'm choosing nothing but abundance and amazing, healthy relationships. I'm choosing nothing but goodness and joy and fun and
all of us are doing this right. All of us are already doing this. It's really like more of this, right? We're choosing more of this. Hold on. I thought I was going to go somewhere and I'm being told, no, we're going to go somewhere else. Okay, interesting. Let me just...
always an adventure.
Let me feel into. I'm going to name that there are tools that I know we've channeled our tools of whole being wellness, and other people have created other resources of navigating what we're talking about in the frequency of that, of practicing that. And those are incredibly helpful right now because you're not going to be able to avoid that now for anyone. Okay. So like, I know that I'm over here and I call myself weird and all of that. And the thing is, this is the only game in town now. And that's becoming more and more obvious, even for those that want to resist it. And that's okay. Let's please show up with grace and acceptance and love. There's no judgment. We're all figuring this out in whatever way works for us. Please, grace, love, acceptance. It doesn't mean that you don't get to look at it and say, I don't like that. Please identify what's authentic to you for sure. We just can do that without any judgment. I know I say those words a lot, but it really is a vibe of there's nothing to defend. We are not at war unless we say we are, right? So I'm inviting you to let go of some of that, because the door that Wendy gently just opened is here, and it's open. So we are Alice in the looking glass, and I'm going to invite you to feel that first, because every one of us knew and know that this is here now. And in some ways of coping with this interesting, weird time, we don't think about it. We're like, hey, right? Wendy and I've talked about it a little bit of, oh my gosh, like what is going on? Why does it feel so weird? It's weird. Like what's weird, right? And it is this doorway into this something else. And we're ready. And in a human way, I might say it, and believe me, there's going to be many ways of saying this, but for me in this moment right now, it is letting go of those tethers that we may have to identities or expectations or the 3D world or the right and wrong or the being the victim ideas. Like all of those things, we'll have to let go of these things. We'll have to suspend. And for a human being at this evolutional, that's not a word, in this evolution of who we are as human beings, this is really scary. Moments from now, we'll look back and be like, that's actually really easy. And wow, that was really hard at the moment. So I do feel it's important how we opened this session, this class, what is it called? Whatever it's called. You know, that is real. Please honor where you are at. And this is a really scary thing. And we're like toddlers learning to walk. And we're scared, right? Because we're not really toddlers. Because I feel like if we were toddlers, we'd be like, oh my God, whatever, I'm going to fall right on my face. Yay, let's go. Because I just am so excited to be alive, right? We're more like the, maybe it's just better if I use a walker for the rest of my
man
life.
toddler.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So in this, we have a lot of help, and I'm inviting you to consider the joy of living, of experiencing, and letting yourself fumble your way through. Because listen, we're going to have some grace for this. This door is open now. It just opened. It did. Okay. So we're fumbling around, we're walking around, and we're like, oh, wait, why did I do that? I was told this. And all of a sudden, for this month, and I feel like some moments, we're going to meet abrupt dead ends. We're going to be like, what? I was just, this felt right. I was doing this. I was going about this like this. And then all of a sudden, like, nope, over here. And that is because the reality is changing. I don't know how else to say this. The reality is changing. The physics, the system, everything is changing. Please do not be afraid. And it's okay if you are always, of course. But I'm letting you know so I can haunt you and you can think of me, and I'm telling you, nothing bad is happening. Things are weird. In our humanness, they are weird. So instead of using your eyeballs, might be more helpful to use your third eye or your gut or your heart. The parts of you that have more wisdom than the linear 2D, 3D physical, I don't know, logic. You want to jump in? I feel like I'm talking more.
No, I mean, do you remember I was telling you, and there might be some people here that understand what I'm saying, but remember I was telling you I was having those dreams of falling up?
Yes. Yeah.
And so falling up, I feel like it's a perfect, because it is kind of like Alice in Wonderland, like falling up. Like if you can imagine you're falling, but you're falling up. So that there's a force that's pulling you up, which is essentially what's happening right now. And so if you can imagine you're falling up, right? And you've never experienced it before because it's defying logic and gravity, but you're falling up. And what is happening is that you're going to flip and then you're going to come down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like that's the physics of what's happening. It feels like you're falling up, but then as soon as you get past this threshold, we're right here at this threshold right now, where you feel like you're falling up, and then pretty soon you're going to come back. You're going to come back down. But it's like because your reality flips, or in some ways your identity flips. So from a human perspective, it could be you move into an experience that you've never experienced before, and that could be abundance, that could be health, that could be anything and everything. And partly why we say, we are all entering into the age of miracles, because that process of falling up and flipping, it's a very kind of arduous, long process right now. It feels like it's taking a long time, but pretty soon we're going to master moving through that process very quickly. I mean, that is essentially how Jesus was able to heal, and how other people have been able to heal others, because you're basically doing that on a cellular level in this almost like condensed moment of time where time is suspended. You flip the script, and we're experiencing the flipping of the script. And we are doing all the work, like changing our thoughts, honoring our feelings, right? This is a very slowed down process of flipping the script. But pretty soon, through intention, right? We have to use our light, which is our consciousness and our intention. Use our light to create what it is that we desire. Right? And the tethers that Brenda are talking about, those have to be reconciled. We came into this earth at a time when we have tethers, and that tethering is our relationship.
Okay. With those. It's really important.
I'm not judging.
No, never. It's implied in the collective.
Oh, the tethers are
no, like the judgment of it, of like good or bad. See, this person's in light. I mean, we are so hardwired right now to think in that way. And so I'm just being really mindful of this. Listen, all of this is okay. We are okay. We are enough. We are not too much. We are enough. We are not too much ever, ever, ever. And I logically get, we go, yeah, I know. With love, I'm going to be like, come on. We are a part of this collective too. We're going to have to give a little bit more efforting to shift this collectively. So just when he was speaking, I could feel a little bit like we kind of think, oh shoot, I've got my tether. Of course you got your tethers, aren't they? You're amazing in every way. Yeah, sorry, I totally derailed you a little bit. I hope I think where you are because you're
no, I don't know where
really
I am,
good
but
stuff.
I feel like you're bringing up a good point, and they're just kind of moving us, which is we have to soften, you know. So it's not about this arduous doing, or if I could figure out, you know, even that equation that I was breaking down for everybody, you know, and the steps and how to move through that flip.
But that's the very denseness of it, is that we think it's that, you know, and it's, if we can ease in and go, oh my gosh, I'm so just, wow, I'm in awe, right? I'm in awe of myself. This month really for me is about coming back to self, coming back to center. We're going to get to where we can see and honor each other. We will. We are. But can you start with you? Can you ease up? Because then you just lost 3 tethers. Because you accept it.
Right. And so the energy really is about softening and letting go, is about honoring and like really recognizing whatever the tether is for whatever.
Expectations or identities or roles. One of the things that keeps coming through my head right now, and I'm partly sorry, not sorry, because it is what it is Alice in Wonderland, which I just watched last week, of course, probably right on time. And when oh my gosh, please forgive me, I do not know the characters' names. Do you know the worm's name? Unslip. I can't say it. Anyway, and he says to Alice, he's like, "Are you Alice? Are you really her?" And I'm going to invite you to think into this, and more importantly, feel into it. Who are you? Who are you really? Are you sure that who you are is you, right? With no judgment, with curiosity and power and love. Who are you? And then the Hatter says to her at one point, well, you're Alice, but you're missing your muchness. Where did your muchness go? Right? And the reminder of this essence. And of course she got pissed, right? Rightly so, yeah. So I'm going to call you out with love, power. Where's your muchness? Where are you? Who are you? What are you? Right? You get to say, nice job. There we go. Everything that's happening this month, and they were very clear about this today, everything that's happening is about shifting you into this higher frequency, or what we're calling right now the 5D. Everything that's happening within ourselves, externally, is happening to shift us into the 5D. There's a lot more in that, and I just don't know that our brains need to get involved. You know, I feel like
there is this softness. We have to let go. And in some ways we define it as femininity, but it isn't femininity. But in our culture right now, we define it as femininity, the ability to be soft, the ability to let go and be vulnerable and authentic. We define it as femininity, and we can as long as we need to, but it really has nothing to do with gender. Females typically have the ability to be able to be soft and be vulnerable, tap into the power of that more. Not always, but more. But it is this present of now, of using this heart space and being able to move into that vulnerability, to let go of the control, to let go of the brain, to let go of the doing. This space here is what creates everything. And then you watch it unfold. This is the space where you're hand in hand with the divine and the universe. This is the space where the universe has your back and helps you in any and every way. This is the space where you're seen, and you're heard, and you're validated by yourself.
Because believe me, part of the tethers of the human enlightenment process is that we let go of our families, our parents. We no longer expect our needs to be met outside of ourselves. And again, logically, I feel that we can think about that, but yet the power of that, of like, no, really, it's you now. It's you meeting your own needs with the divine, with the earth. We're not alone. We're never alone. Not ever. We have help. We are taken care of. We are loved so dearly. Nice. So beautiful. So in honor of this month, I'm sorry, unless you want to go somewhere else first. I felt a little bit that we might go somewhere, one more thing. But that's your mastery, not mine.
There's so many places we could go.
I know, there's a lot. There's a lot in this month. And it's interesting because we could talk a lot about different things, and it's more this experience of just being gentle. Yeah, go ahead though.
It's just making me want to laugh. There is a lot of joy here, and that is probably your quickest way to getting into that space is following your joy. What feels good. That's the belly piece. But there's a lot happening astronomically, astrologically this month to help assist us moving into bringing in more light on the planet. The planet is waking up as well. For those of you that have saw the recent painting, which is not August painting, by the way, but my most recent painting about the sacred sexuality piece. But it's partly because the Earth is awakening, and it's a kind of a huge energetic assist from the Earth, awakening our our Kundalini's kind of rising, the Shakti. And so with that and the Lion's Gate coming up and just a lot of different things, it's really helping us move into that, through that threshold of into this new reality. And that is different for everybody. Everybody is being asked to birth this new sense of self. And it really is an identity where you're seen, you're heard, you know your worth, you're living your joy, you're living your path, your passion, where all your dreams are met and everything is possible. They really want us to know that, and that we're constantly creating that. So be very aware of your thoughts and what it is that you're wanting to manifest, because you're allowed. But we can't bypass. They really want us to know that you're loved so dearly, and part of loving the self is to not let any of these parts of ourselves behind. Meaning that 6-year-old that was left in the playground, that was me. Or whatever, like anything that might be arising, right? That needs your love. Like that's how loved you are. Is like you're not going to leave that part of you. So keep showing up for those and keep gathering your parts to bring them with us, to show them that they're loved, to move into this new space. I mean, but there's a lot of assist. They just wanted to bring the galactical piece in that there's a lot of energy around. And your gifts should be expanding. They are expanding, as you're aware. And so that is more. The more you align with your heart and get out of the brain, your gifts are going to continue to expand. So it's really an exciting time to really see what you got. And then we get to share it with each other, which is a beautiful thing. And there's enough to go around. Meaning, I'm going to make $1 million, you can make $1 million, she's going to make $1 million, whatever, billions, trillions. There really is enough to go around.
There's enough love, there's enough family, there's enough friends, there's enough of everything, enough food, really, enough shelter, enough perfect homes, enough all the things, okay? And that leads me to exactly how I wanted to kind of wrap us up on all of this. And it is with the experience of this. It is with moving into, and you can keep your eyes open or you can close them if it's easier for you to like maybe not give your thinking self all the control. I'm going to invite you to feel into what it is that you want and need right now. What is your greatest joy? What is your heaven on earth? And I want you to feel into that. And then I want you to see it. And then I want you to think about it. And I want you to be, oh my gosh, I am so excited to have my $1 million. I'm so excited. I just like, this is going to be the best thing ever. I know it's here. It is just the greatest thing ever. Or I am so excited to be living my life purpose. And I can feel it. And I'm not even sure exactly what it might be, but I can feel what that feels like, the freedom of that. Or my perfect home. And I can feel it. And I can imagine it. And I'm so excited for it. And then I want you to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going there. What will you do? What will it feel like? What will it smell like? What will it sound like? What will it taste like? Using all of your essence, your humanness. Yeah. Right? Well, I can't even say that right now. I'm just going to gently remind you that there is so much power and energy here in that joy, in that excitement. I am so excited when I have this thing that I'm going to be able to follow my own rhythm and I can feel what that feels like. And I'm not controlled by a clock or a calendar, right? Some of the structures that we take for granted that we just accept. How about we start saying no to some of that? Those are some of those tethers. Do they really work for us? Do we need to wake up at 6? Wendy wants to wake up at 7:30. I want to wake up at 8:30. That's okay, right? That's mine. So what are you looking forward to? What is your heaven on earth? What do you want? There we go. Nice. And now, if you're willing and you can you give these same wishes, these same miracles to everyone you know? And say, you know what? I choose for them. They're miracles. I don't know what they are. I don't need to know. It doesn't matter. I choose for them abundance and peace and joy and heaven on earth. And then if you're willing, very nice job. Everyone here is so loving and so giving. Can you also give this to everyone you don't know? Maybe, and this is challenging, those that you don't even like right now. Can we just spread this to every single soul and human on this planet? There we go. Nice job. Thank you. Very nice. There's more in this month, which is interesting to me. And I'm not sure. I almost feel like we might do something with it, you know. Maybe we'll address it tomorrow. So for those of you that aren't already online or coming tomorrow, we would love to see you. Because there is more, but this is perfect. This is perfect for today. This is enough.
Just keep sowing those seeds. Finding those seeds.
Yeah.
They're happening.
Nice
right.
job. Nice job, everyone. Nice job, Wendy.
Nice job, Ron.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right, on that note, we bid you farewell.
Yes, until next time.
We do have tomorrow, so we hope to see you then. And this will be online to listen again if you'd like. So they're always with you. All right.
I love you.
Until next time.